Well, hello everyone. It's Friday again, and you know what that means? It's Financial Fridays. It's the time where I get to share some valuable money management tips with you. I look forward to it each and every week, and I'm so glad to have this opportunity to do it. I hope it's been a blessing to you. Well, this is session number 4. We talked about the spirit of poverty. We talked about taking your first step of assessing where you are, and we're kind of going through that right now. Last week we talked about net worth. We defined what it was, and we walked through a calculation of how to do it. Well, during session number 2, I talked to you about tracking all of your receipts for one whole month. You want to track everything that you spent. You want to look at your bank accounts, your how you spent your cash by keeping receipts. Even if you put a paper bag in the car, everything you spend. You go to Dunkin' Donuts, you go to the gas station, you go to Publix, get a receipt and then put it in the bag. And at the end of the month, you're going to look at where you spent all of your money, and then you're going to put it into categories, and it's going to tell a story about how you're spending your money. It also might tell a story about what's important to you. Well, I'm going to walk through an example with you this morning on what the results of something like that looks like, and we're going to talk about the relevance of it and how it fits into this money management process that we're going through of assessing where you are with your finances. So let's go over to our board here, and we're going to start talking about income. Imagine this is maybe a family of 4, 2 working adults with 2 children, and we're just putting some figures out. We have the husband wages at $4,000 a month, the wife wages at $4,500 a month, so they have total wages of $8,500. They have their taxes withheld, their FICA and their income taxes. Yours may be more or less, but we just estimated an amount of $1,000. Well, they have spendable income, meaning money they can spend for their living expenses of $7,500 for the month. That's the income side of the formula. You want to do that for yourself. Now we're going to look at the expense side. This is where they spent their money for the particular month. Here we have mortgage or rent. If you're renting, you'll put your monthly rent. You're paying mortgage, you'll do your mortgage. Include your taxes, your insurance, and your interest in that payment. So $2,250. Then utilities. Utilities are your light, it's your water, it's your garbage. We even put cable TV in there. You can separate it out there if you want, but we put it in. Comes to $400 a month. Here's their giving. It could be giving to a church, if you give to the United Way or any other charity, but it approximates $500 a month. Here's the phone bill. This is for 2 cell phones as well as their home service, and that comes to $225 a month. Maintenance for their home, $200 a month. Food, which is your grocery. It could be your lunch. It could be your snacks. It could be lunch for the children. When you add all that up, $750 a month. It says debit, but it should say debt. So this is your credit card payments, your store card payments, furniture store, even student loans can be in that particular category. That's $400 a month. Here are your car payments, $825. That's for 2 cars. Gas and maintenance related to those cars, $375. Insurance, that could be life insurance, health insurance, car insurance, $300 a month. Personal items, just things that may not even fall in any of these categories. It could be haircuts, getting your hair done, all kind of different things you spend money on. $420. Entertainment, that's going out to the movies, going out to dinner, going bowling, things like that, taking trips. That's $475 a month. And other, just if it doesn't fall into any of these, we're just going to put it in other of $250. Well, when we add all of this up, they've spent $7,420. We're going to take this number and bring it over here and look at this in comparison to our income. Our income was $7,500. Our expenses were $7,420. So for the month, we had a net cash flow of $80. Now some would say, all right, we did it. We didn't spend more than we took in. We are a good steward. God's going to be proud because God says it is required that we be found faithful as stewards. And money is something He's given us to be a steward over. So, pat on the back. I did a good job. I didn't spend more than I took in. Well, that's one way to look at it. But I see actually a lot of flaws in this because when I look at the expenses, I see some issues here. What's the first issue that I see? Well, the first issue I see is in giving. They're not tithing. They're making $8,500 a month, and they're giving $500. Tithe is going to be at least 10%. So if you want to stand a chance of being successful in your finances, start with returning back to God that which belongs to Him. That way His covenant with us will remain. He said that if you give in your tithe and offering, I will pour out from the windows of heaven blessings you won't have room enough to receive. And Jesus even said in the New Testament, tithing you should do, but make sure that you adhere to the other important things such as love and faith in your daily walk. So that's the first thing I want to do. Then I look at some of these categories like food, $750, car payments, $825, entertainment, $475. There's some adjustments that can be made. And one of the things I see that's missing, I don't know if you noticed it, it's nothing here for savings. It's nothing here for investment. There's nothing here for retirement. What's going to happen when you run into a situation when things get tight? Or if you're unable to work, or one of you lose your job, or you have an emergency come up? There's no emergency fund here. And so we got to make sure we find a way to cut back so that we can create a savings and start planning for our retirement. That's an area many people have not addressed. Probably over 70% of America haven't addressed retirement. And if they were to lose their job, they couldn't pay their bills for the next month. And that's a situation you don't want to find yourself in. That's what's going to happen if you spend this kind of money, and this is what you make. You're going to have $80 a month. That's not enough for you to put aside for savings, because things will indeed come up. So that's going to do it today. I hope this has been a blessing to you. Next week, we're going to dive into how to set up a budget. And when we set up a budget, we're going to talk about goal setting, short-term, mid-term, long-term goals. How to set up these goals, and then how to incorporate these goals in your budget so that you're living a decent life, you're saving, yet you're planning and you're putting money aside to accomplish the things that are most important to you and the things that God has called you to do. Those are your short, mid, and long-term goals. So we're going to go through that, and I know if you start putting these principles in place, you will see a change in your finances. Before we leave, just want to encourage you. Let's see, over here somewhere. There she goes. I have a book. Everything I talked about is in my book, Financial Freedom. You can get this book by going online at my website. It's hankersonconsulting.com. Go to the store. The book is $10. I pray, and I know it'll be a blessing to you. And this is something God has really compelled me to do. And this is taking the knowledge He's given me and putting it in a written form in a way that people can understand where it's no big secret. Anyway, God bless you. Love you guys. Make sure you like this and you share it. And see you next week for Financial Friday. Bye-bye now.